months of gladiators duking it out week after week leads right here to the Diamond Celebration at Phoenix Raceway. 42,000 fans screaming underneath the desert sun on the Estrella Mountain Range is how we crown a champion for NASCAR. This jewel in the desert, racing for 60 years, will crown 4 champions over 3 days right here in Avondale, Arizona. I'm Devon Henry. This is Sport of Speed, where we go inside the world of NASCAR and inside the lives of the drivers, all leading up to NASCAR Championship Weekend, November 8th, 9th, and 10th here in Avondale. Let's take a look at what we have on tap this week with our starting grid. Let's go beyond the fire suit with Sheldon Creed and the Friends of Jaclyn Foundation. We get to know Marissa and her battle with cancer, as well as her dream of becoming a cheerleader. Chase Briscoe walked it off at Darlington to make the NASCAR Cup Series playoff. We sit down with the Indiana native to go over how life is changing as a dad with twins soon on the way. And we get to know the defending NASCAR Truck Series champion a little bit better. Learn to concoct a Kentucky old-fashioned the Ben Rhodes way. But we kick things off with the defending NASCAR Cup Series champion, Ryan Blaney, and all the personality that comes along with him. His historic Blaney family trophy case, their tie to the Los Angeles Lakers, his fandom for Star Wars, and of course, how he's going to defend that NASCAR championship. Let's ride the inside lane with Ryan Blaney. You were pretty psyched back in January when I told you that your banner on the front straightaway with your signature was going to stick around all year.
Yeah.
What was it like being able to see that in March, go around the track every single lap, and then also the emotions that came through back in March, stepping back in this facility for the first time?
Yeah, well, I enjoyed seeing the banner. I noticed it for the first 10, 15 times I went by, and then I just, had another job to do. But no, I think coming back here, in March earlier, it just reminisce, right? It's your first time back at a place where you did something special, and us as a team, we kind of all, it all sank in once again, So, and then it motivated us like, man, we want to be back here again in November, So, and trying to compete for the same thing. So hopefully we can have another shot at it.
And that championship adds to an illustrious collection of the Blaney family that includes the Chili Bowls Nationals, the Knoxville's Nationals, All-Star Ticket Champions, Kings Royal, Outlaw Championship, now a NASCAR Cup Series Championship, as well as the Blaney family trophy case.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you to add on to such a rich legacy of your dad, your uncle, and your grandfather Lou?
Yeah, that was special, and I had to add a little bit of asphalt in there. They were the dirt guys, and Dad having the Outlaw Championship, Dale winning All-Star Championship, and my grandpa, winning all types of championships kind of through PA and Ohio, and it was nice, to achieve that and just kind of add it into the family. So I was really lucky to have all my family there, my uncle, Dale was there, Dad, all my family. So it's always nice to, just continue to add on. And I'm lucky to be part of a family who's kind of given me everything I could ever ask for in racing, and it's nice to give back a little bit.
And another piece of that family legacy is also on the basketball court. It went over social media really heavily over the past week, the fact that your Uncle Dale was drafted by the Lakers. On top of that, I didn't know Lou was a high school basketball star. Your dad, Dave, was a basketball star. Yeah. Do you still have a little bit of interest in that basketball world and all that heritage that's kind of gone on?
That was really the only other sport I did growing up besides racing was basketball, just because, like you said, my family did it a lot. My dad and uncle were a year apart, so they were teammates in high school together. I don't have my uncle's height, so I think, and same with my dad, right? So that's why Dad kind of pursued racing. But yeah, Dale got drafted by the Lakers in the 80s. I used to play a lot, a handful of years ago, and just got too old, man. I'm getting too old, and you hurt the next day a little bit too much. But I got a pretty cool family that, especially Dale. He's in the West Virginia Hall of Fame for basketball. He was a baller, man. He was great, and he still has it every now and then. He goes shoot around with him.
Yeah, and still an assistant coach at the college level, and on top of that, of course, being drafted by Jerry West. He went and told Pat Riley, I'm quitting basketball to go race cars. So I got to know from you, if you could pick 2 drivers in NASCAR, past or present, to form a 3-on-3 basketball team with, who are you picking?
It's a good question. We need a big guy. I think like Waltrip or something. Michael Waltrip, pretty big. That's your post. I'd probably go Austin Dillon. He's pretty quick, good ball handler. And then we got our big guys. So we got 2 of the little guys, and then we got Waltrip in the post.
Well, hey, another tall guy is your teammate, Austin Cindric, and I think that it's a really fortunate thing that we have you and Austin, the two biggest Star Wars fans in NASCAR history, on Team Penske together. Do you guys get to geek out at all, hang out a little bit on Star Wars? And I'll keep the question simple. It's an easy one. Who wins in a lightsaber fight? I don't know. I've never heard that answered before, and I was like, come on, you two have to at least try it at some point, right?
We haven't tried that one. No, I remember we went to, gosh, I can't remember what one we saw in theaters together. We got these Chewbacca onesies that we wore to the theater. Everyone was wearing weird stuff, right? So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, he's a good kid, and yeah, it's nice that we geek out about Star Wars every now and then.
And before I let you go, of course, we're sitting here at Phoenix Raceway at the Ignition Luncheon, getting ready for the championship later in November. What's going to take to run him back? And of course, when you won that championship, the fans didn't leave you alone during the ESPN interview. I think that's my favorite part of the whole weekend was them chanting your name as you're trying to listen to the questions. What's it going to take to experience that one more time?
Yeah, I had no idea what they were asking me on ESPN. I had no clue. The fans were loud. I mean, I can't complain about it too much because that's awesome that they were so psyched. But you just got to, get through the gauntlet, of 9 weeks. I mean, it's a tough, 2-3 months stretch of just all these different racetracks and different scenarios that come up. It's how do you handle those situations and how do you kind of dig yourself out of a hole if you find yourself in one. But I'd love to do it, at least get here to have a shot. That's really all you can ask for is like, how do you get to Phoenix to have a chance? Then it's a whole nother race, but I think we can do it. It'd be nice to go back to back.
Coming up on the other side, we go beyond the fire suit with Sheldon Creed and the Friends of Jaclyn Foundation with their work across the country helping children fighting brain tumors. Come and sit down with Chase Briscoe, the Stewart-Haas Racing driver who earned his way into the NASCAR playoffs with a huge win at Darlington, and the world of fatherhood, as he has twins coming up on the way. And grab out those notebooks, we're talking with Ben Rhodes. He's going to give us a Kentucky-style old-fashioned. All that up next on Sport at Speed. Throughout the year, Joe Gibbs Racing driver Sheldon Creed dons the Friends of Jaclyn Foundation upon his hood, a nonprofit organization specializing in helping children and their families who battle brain tumors. Back in March, we saw the Friends of Jaclyn Foundation bring in Marissa to the racetrack to join Sheldon's crew as she continues her dream of becoming a cheerleader. Let's go beyond the fire suit with Sheldon Creed. At just 3 years old, Marissa Rubadu was forced into a battle that no child should have to face.
Marissa was diagnosed with brain tumor going into the age of 4, just short of her 4th birthday, and it was diagnosed as the size of a racquetball in her little head. They performed 2 surgeries back to back, removed the tumor, and went into recovery, and she's been thriving since then.
Now ahead of her 10th birthday, Marissa and her family visited Phoenix Raceway and got to experience one of the greatest sensory overloads in sports, the exhaust, revs, and rubber of NASCAR. Throughout the year, Joe Gibbs Racing and NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Sheldon Creed team up with the Friends of Jaclyn Foundation to bring a friend of the weekend to the racetrack. And what's the coolest part of the experience?
Just to see all the cars and to hang out.
She seems excited, kind of show them around on what we do on a racing level. It's special for us, it's close to our hearts. Cancer has been important to our family. We lost my grandma about 10 years ago to stomach cancer. So anytime we can help kids or show support and try to raise some money and support for them, we always try to jump on top of that, and to go on top of it, we have a great looking race car to go with it.
So we learned about the Friends of Jaclyn through Make-A-Wish. Great organization, great people. Spoken with Jaclyn a few times. Very great family, and just a great organization that they have going.
Yeah, hopefully she just has a positive outlook on it after today and has a good day.
Both Sheldon and Marissa hail from San Diego, and now the Rubadu family resides here in the Valley. The Friends of Jaclyn Foundation works to improve the quality of life for children and their families battling pediatric brain tumors and other childhood cancers. As Marissa grows and finds new interests, the Arizona State Sun Devils have stepped in to adopt Marissa and give her the experience of a lifetime over the past year.
She's a cheerleader. She does cheering, loves to dance, loves to sing.
Back in probably 2010, we became aware of the Friends of Jaclyn Foundation, and we reached out to Dennis Murphy at the time about seeing if they had any local Phoenix area, Tempe area kids that wanted to be involved with our athletic team. About a year or so ago, Dennis reached out and said he had a young lady that was interested in cheerleading, and would our cheerleading team be interested in adopting a child? It's been a little over a year, so she's come out to practices with our cheer team. She's come out to games. Most recently, she was out at homecoming, our football homecoming, and did some stuff with our cheerleading team. So it's just been a really wonderful experience, and obviously we will continue that experience with additional things in the future.
While it's been a wild ride in Marissa's first 10 years, there is a lot of life and fun to look forward to. Whether that's becoming a cheerleader, a race car driver, or whatever else she strives to be while changing the lives of those around her.
It's great for our cheer squad to kind of be able to act as mentors and help the young ladies as they come up. And so I think, or at least I hope what Marissa can get out of this is, she can see college-aged women that are doing great things, hopefully use it to inspire her, not only to hopefully go to college, but, do great things beyond that.
Just a great all-around girl. I mean, perfect little kid. Couldn't ask for more. She's very thankful for the Friends of Jaclyn. And all of the experiences they've, provided for her, and the motivation and the love that they've injected into her life.
In 2020, Chase Briscoe was fighting for a NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. But way more importantly, he and his wife Marissa were expecting the birth of their first child. But during the 12-week exam, they learned that their expecting child had no fetal heartbeat. Just 2 days later, Chase Briscoe had to take on the track, deemed too tough to tame, Darlington Raceway, and went to victory lane in NASCAR's return from COVID. Fast forward 4 years later, this time in the NASCAR Cup Series, racing for its hero Tony Stewart in the final season for that team. He walked it off in the regular season finale at Darlington Raceway, putting the number 14 car in the playoffs and earning his hunt for the championship. This time with his son Brooks on pit road and his wife Marissa expecting twins. It has been a wild roller coaster ride for the Briscoe family. None crazier than coming up in 2025 with a new ride for Chase and twins on the way. But nothing has been more difficult and more rewarding than being a dad. At Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I think my favorite part of the entire weekend was walking up to your car during qualifying. You pick up Brooks, and he was elated to see the cars go down the front straightaway for the first time, seeing the oval at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What has moments like that, having your son being able to be around motorsports and just seeing the joy in his eyes when you're able to see racing action with someone, of course, who means so much to you?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Letting him kind of have new experiences, and he's definitely ate up with the racing stuff. So it's been cool to take him to the racetrack, and just he literally loves going. That's all he wants to do. Every time we even get in the car to go anywhere, he'll scream, "Driver, start your engines," before we can start the car up. So I need to keep posting more stuff with him, because he's at that point right now in life where he's just hilarious. Everything he does, he's been a lot of fun, and definitely been fun taking him to the racetracks and just letting him experience all of it.
And with twins on the way, I'm sure that's really, really just a little bit relaxing to know that you have an entertainer for them once they pop out and they're going to have Brooks as a big brother.
Yeah, he's pretty excited. There's only a couple days, I would say, over the last 7-8 months where he said he doesn't want to be a big brother. So he's definitely excited. I don't think he understands the concept that when the twins do come, they're not going to be ready to play with his cars and everything else right away. But yeah, he's pretty fired up about it. So yeah, he's going to be an awesome big brother, and going to be a lot of fun for sure.
2 more Briscoes coming into the world, and of course I'm sure that your favorite part of Indianapolis Motor Speedway weekend was going to Bloomington Raceway, driving at your home track, and having 4 generations of the Briscoe family all together at your guys' home track. I mean, you guys have such an illustrious history in dirt, and now you continue to build that here in the NASCAR Cup Series as well. I mean, does that put some pressure on Brooks, right? I mean, he's got some greatness to catch up to.
Yeah, I don't know about greatness, but yeah, I mean, it was really cool going back to going to Bloomington. That's a place that is 25 minutes from where I grew up, and spent every Friday night there as a kid, and I lived through a lot of my teen years. So was cool to go back and race there on Brickyard weekend, especially, and then to do it, have my grandpa go back, dad there, myself, and then Brooks, to have 4 generations was really, really cool just for us as a family to be able to have that. So, yeah, I'm sure that, Brooks is probably going to want to try racing at some point. He's already got a go-kart and rips it around the driveway all the time and everything else. So I'm probably going to be in trouble here in a couple of years. But, we'll just have to see what happens. I'm definitely not going to push it on him, that's for sure.
Do you know what track hosted the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series finale? Last year, we celebrated NASCAR's historic 75th anniversary by crowning Ryan Blaney a champion at Phoenix Raceway. But you have to go all the way back to 1949, when it was originally called the NASCAR Strictly Stock Series, as they concluded the season on a dirt track in the sport's home state at the legendary North Wilkesboro Speedway. Sport of Speed is back right after this.
This is going to be the weirdest press conference ever. You know what? Here's what I got to say. What was the question? Sheldon Creed tried to get all, funky with me. And I said, ain't happening, Mama Jamma. Brum, brum, brum. My crew chief did a shoey tonight. It was awesome. It was my shoey. And his shoey. It's cool. My wife looks really embarrassed. Are you embarrassed? We're champions. Yeah. I went to this place called The Barn tonight. They gave me like a ring and stuff, but I couldn't keep it. And I asked the bartender, I said, can you make me an old fashioned? I'm from Kentucky, I like bourbon. She know how to make an old fashioned.
We are with the bad mama jamma himself, the defending NASCAR Truck Series champion, Ben Rhodes, and we are inside the bar, one of the many amenities here at Phoenix Raceway, and you went a little viral for maybe a little bit too much alcohol after winning a championship. I don't know how else you celebrate though, but figured no one else would be better to show us the right way. Just have a nice drink while you're out here at the racetrack. So we're making a Ben Rhodes Kentucky Kid old fashioned. So take me through what we're doing here. Go ahead, let's try this out. Go make one for me. Let's see what we got.
Well, first off, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a lot better at consuming them than I am at concocting them. But nevertheless, here we go. So we don't have all of the necessary bar tools, but we're going to do this the fun way. So you're going to take a teaspoon of sugar. We're going to come in here with 2 ounces of any bourbon you like, any whiskey, really any alcohol. You can make an old fashioned out of anything. So we'll get 2 ounces of this. Those will have you a couple dashes of orange bitters. Then we're gonna come in here with, where's my ice at? I've got ice here somewhere. My ice. And then we're gonna mix it all up and then strain it into another glass with clean ice. So we're gonna set this straw back down. Again, I don't have the strainer per se, but we're gonna do this the Ben Rhodes way. We're gonna pour it in here. We're gonna get a new glass, and then we're gonna strain it into that glass. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're gonna get some ice. Put the ice in, it's already been chilled. And we'll take an orange peel, in this case, kind of make it a twist, express that into the glass, garnish it, oh yeah, and we'll just drop it in. That's gonna be good old fashioned.
The ice, I feel like the ice is kind of like a big factor in bringing that all together. A big thank you to Ben Rhodes for showing us how to concoct his home style old fashioned. Maybe don't be surprised if you see him sipping a few of those during NASCAR Championship weekend here at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th, 9th, and the 10th. Well, thanks for coming along on the ride with us here on Sport of Speed, and be sure to join us throughout the NASCAR playoffs as we dig into the world of NASCAR, the life of the drivers, and of course, gearing up for championship weekend here at Phoenix Raceway. Hope you guys have a phenomenal Sunday, and until I see you next time, make it a great week.